Hello students, in the last lecture, I told you about Routh-Hurwitz criteria. Why is it used? It's basically used to find out the stability of control systems. So there I had also shown you few examples. Now in today's class I am going to illustrate some of the special cases which can arise while you make the Routh array, and certain difficulties can be there. So how to solve such examples? So I am just going to take those examples in today's class. First example is given over here. Here this is showing Hello students, welcome to Control Systems lectures. In the last lecture, I told you about Routh-Hurwitz criteria. I also told you that it's used to determine the stability of any control system. Okay, without actually finding out what are the poles of the system, you can determine whether the system is stable or unstable, and you can also determine the number of poles which lie on the left hand side of the S-plane or the right hand side of the S-plane. Now in today's class I am going to deal with few special cases that can arise while you make the Routh array. So just look at this example that is given over here. You have this characteristic equation s to the power 5 plus s to the power 4 plus 2s cube plus 2s square plus 3s plus 15. So you have to make the Routh array, and the aim is to find the stability of the system, and if the system is unstable, then how many roots are lying on the right hand side. That is the aim. First we will quickly form the Routh array. So to form the Routh array, we have to start from first we have to make the column of powers of s, starting from the highest power of s going up to s to the power 0. So highest power of s is s to the power 5. So we will write s to the power 5, then s to the power 4, s cube, then s square, then s to the power 1, and then s to the power 0. Next we have to write the coefficients. So we will write the coefficients. First coefficient, it will come over here. The coefficient of s to the power 5 is 1. Coefficient of s to the power 4 is also 1. So first you write the first coefficient, then you write the next coefficient below this. So it is going to be 1. Third coefficient, s cube, it's going to come over here. So in the next column it will be 2. Then next coefficient, again that's 2. Next coefficient, it's 3, and next it's 15. So this is how you write the first two rows of the Routh array. Okay. Now second, for this third row, you have to determine the value over here. So it's going to be 1 into 2 minus 1 into 2, again multiplication, divided by 1. So it goes like this. Okay, it goes like this. 1 into 2, it's 2, minus 1 into 2, again 2, divided by 1. So it's going to be 0. So this value is coming out to be equal to 0. Next, this value, the value which will come on this part, okay, for this column and this row, what is going to be the value over here? It will be 1 into 3, okay, minus 1 into 15 divided by 1. So 1 into 3 minus 1 into 15, that's going to be minus 12 divided by 1. So the value that we will get over here, it is going to be minus 12. Okay. And as we are not having any terms after this, so the term that you will get over here, it will be 0 only. Moving on to the next row. Now for this row, if you again want to find out what's going to be the value over here, it will be 0 into 2 minus 1 into minus 12 divided by 0. Okay, what is coming? 0 into 2 minus 1 into minus 12, and then this to be divided by 0. Now how can you define this? Is this term, it cannot be defined, it's not defined, okay, because denominator is coming as equal to 0. So this becomes a special case in Routh array, where if ever it happens that the first term of any row, it is becoming 0, whereas the other terms on the same row, they are non-zero. Okay, this term is actually non-zero. So first term is becoming 0. That is the case. So this becomes a special case, and you cannot further make the Routh array due to this term. Okay, because this term that you are getting, it cannot be defined. So to solve for this, what is done actually is that you replace this 0 that you are getting over here, you replace this 0 with a small positive value. This will be a small positive value which will be known as epsilon. So you just replace it with epsilon, and then you again form the Routh array. So how to do that? I am quickly going to rub this, okay, and what I am doing is I am replacing this with epsilon, where epsilon is a small positive value. And now I am going to again proceed with making the Routh array. So with this epsilon value only. So now what will happen? Again you have to form this, so it will become epsilon into 2 minus, okay, so it will become 2 epsilon minus 1 into minus 12, so it will become plus 12 divided by epsilon. So the value over here, it will become 2 epsilon plus 12 divided by epsilon. This is going to be the first value. Similarly here the second value, it will be what? Epsilon into 15 minus 1 into 0 divided by epsilon. So the value over here, it will come out to be equal to this term, it will come out to be equal to 15. So this is 15. Again the next term over here, how can you find it? Just multiply this with this, then this with this, and divide by this. Okay, that means 2 epsilon plus 12 by epsilon multiplied by minus 12. So it will become minus 12 into 2, 24, minus 24 epsilon, okay, plus 12 into minus 12, so minus 144 divided by epsilon, this multiplied by this, then minus epsilon into 15, so minus 15 epsilon divided by, divided by 2 epsilon plus 12 divided by epsilon. Let me write this below this. Okay, so this is the value that you are getting. This is the overall value that you are getting. This is the first term, and the second term, it will become equal to 0. So here just write it over here only. The second term in this row will become 0, and then for this s to the power 0, you can see this multiplied by this term that you are getting, this multiplied by 15 minus 0 multiplied by this term divided by this whole term, so it will become 15 only. So the last term that you will be getting here will be 15. Okay, so this is how you have to proceed with making the Routh array if the condition is that the first term of the row is becoming 0, while the next term they can be non-zero. Okay, it's not the case where the entire row is becoming 0. No, first term is becoming 0, but there are non-zero values in the row also. So this is how you just make the Routh array. Next step is, now you check. Now you know that you had substituted epsilon as small positive value, and you have got these terms over here. So the terms that you are getting in the first column, they are what? The first term that you are getting, it's 1. Second term, again 1. I am writing the first column separately. So first term is 1, second term is 1, third term is epsilon, next term is 2 epsilon plus 12 divided by epsilon. Then this term is minus 24 epsilon minus 144 divided by epsilon minus 15 epsilon divided by again 2 epsilon plus 12 divided by epsilon, and the last term is 15. Now you know that epsilon is actually a small positive value. This is a small positive value. You substitute this value in these the terms that you are getting, and now you have to find out whether the terms that you are getting, they are positive in nature or negative in nature. That's it. Not the actual value that you want. You just want to find out what is the sign that they will be carrying if epsilon is a small positive value. So this will become positive because this is positive small value, and this will be positive. Here also you can see 2 into something positive plus 12 divided by something positive. So it will again become some positive value. Here what do you think? What is going to be the case over here? Here you can see in the numerator it's minus 24 epsilon, minus 144, minus 15 epsilon. So if whatever smallest value also you take it over here, then you can observe that this value is going to be, this term is going to be negative in nature. This term will become negative, and of course the last term that you are getting, this will be positive. So what do you so now getting back to the concept of Routh array, that it states that whenever if you are having the when you have to find out the stability of any system, just observe the first column of the Routh array, and if there are any sign changes, then the system is unstable, and the number of sign change will tell you that how many poles of the system they are lying on the right hand side of the S-plane. So here you can see positive, 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 no sign change, but here positive, then negative, then positive. So you can see that there is jump from, this is one sign change, again one jump, positive to negative and negative to positive. So another sign change. So there are basically two sign changes in this case, and hence we can say that there are going to be two poles on the right hand side of the S-plane. How many number of poles are there actually in this system? The power of S, highest power of S is 5, hence we can say that 5 poles are there in the system, out of which 2 poles are lying on the right hand side. Hence we can say that there are going to be 3 poles which will be lying on the left hand side of the S-plane. And this is how you overcome this difficulty whenever term in the Routh array it becomes 0. The first term becomes 0, whereas the other terms they are non-zero in nature. I hope it's clear. Okay, so if you have any doubt, then please do ask me. So this was one example. Now let's look into another situation, another case that may arise. Here we have, you can see that this is the expression. Again you have to form the Routh array, and there will be some condition that might occur which can lead to some problems. Okay, you cannot actually form the Routh array. So what to do with it? So just first of all begin with it. You have to form the Routh array. It's s to the power 6. So first column will be s to the power 6 to the power 5, s to the power 4, s cube, s square, s to the power 1, s to the power 0. Now just write down the all the coefficients. So this coefficient is 1, so 1, 2, then next 8, this will be 12, then 20, this is going to be 16, and then this is going to be equal to 16. Okay. Now if you want to find out the elements in the next row, this is going to be 8 to the 16 minus 12, okay, divided by 2. So it's going to be 6 divided by 2, sorry, 4 divided by 2. So this is going to be equal to 2. First term is going to be 2. Second term 2 into 20, so that's 40, minus 16 divided by 2. So that's going to be equal to 12. So next term that you are getting, it's equal to 12. Third term, 2 into 16 minus 1 into, here you can write as no term is been given, it will be 0. So minus 1 into 0 divided by 2. So this is going to be 16. Okay, so the elements in this row, this third row that you can see, elements are coming out to be equal to 2, 12 and 16. Now if you make the next row, if you want to write down the values in the next row, it's going to be 2 into 12 minus 2 into 12 divided by 2, 0. 2 into 16 minus 2 into 16 divided by 2, 0. Okay, and of course this into 0 minus, okay, so no need to write that, but that will be again 0. So unlike this case, unlike this previous case where you had the first term as equal to 0, the other term was non-zero, here you can observe that you have got an entire row. This entire row is becoming 0. Okay, this entire row is becoming 0. So this is another special case, and what it actually means is that whenever an entire row becomes 0, that means that the poles are lying symmetrically. Okay, the poles are lying symmetrically along the axis of S-plane. Now you just observe that if this is the S-plane, sigma and j omega, what I am saying is if in an entire row it becomes equal to 0, that means that the complete the poles are symmetrically lying. Okay, and if the poles are lying symmetrically in the S-plane, they can lie along the y-axis also, they can lie along the x-axis also. So the poles can be like this. In this case, the system is going to be unstable because you will get one pole on the right hand side, or they can lie like this also. Okay, they can lie in this pattern also, one pole on the positive y-axis, another on the negative y-axis. That means the system it's going to have marginally stable system. But one thing is sure, that the system is not stable. It can be either unstable or marginally stable. The first challenge is that how to first of all form this array. We have to form this array, because without forming the array we cannot determine that whether the system is unstable or marginally stable. It's definitely not stable, but the condition whether it's unstable or marginally stable, for that we have to make the array. So the method for that is, whichever row is becoming equal to 0, just make an auxiliary equation of auxiliary equation out of the row just above the row which is becoming equal to 0. तो यहाँ पे if s cube, this every time you will see that only an odd coefficient या odd polynomial की जो equation है, that is going to become equal to 0. So just above that we have s to the power 4. This is the equation. This is the row. Okay. So just form a auxiliary equation from this row. What will be this auxiliary equation? So this is s to the power 4. You can write 2s to the power 4. Now just see, this is 2s to the power 4. The second term it will be plus 12s to the power square. Okay, plus 12s square. It's going to be this, and then plus 16. As this row, this is an even row, you won't be having odd terms of s in this row. ठीक है, इट्स ऑलवेज ऑल्टरनेट इन राउथ एरे. जैसे हम यहाँ पे कोएफिशिएंट भी लिखते हैं तो हम ऑल्टरनेट लिखते हैं, तो यहाँ पे जब आप s की पावर्स लिखेंगे ये भी ऑल्टरनेट होंगी. तो फर्स्ट इज s टू द पावर 4, सेकेंड इज s टू द पावर 2, third will be s to the power 0. This is how you will be writing the equation. So this we will call it as the auxiliary equation. This is going to be the auxiliary equation. When you get this auxiliary equation, differentiate it with respect to x. So what I am saying, if this is the auxiliary equation, I can write it as A. If suppose this equation is labeled as A, then you just do what? Do dA by ds. Okay, just differentiate this equation with respect to x. So it will be 8s cube plus 24s. Now you can see that the coefficients over here, it's 8 and it's 24. Substitute these coefficients in the Routh array. Okay, the equation that has become 0, ये जो आपकी रो है वो 0 हुई है, वहाँ पे आप क्या सब्सटीट्यूट करो? यू सब्सटीट्यूट दीज वैल्यूज़. यहाँ पे एस क्यूब का कोएफिशिएंट आ रहा है 8 और एस टू द पावर 1 का कोएफिशिएंट आ रहा है 24. वो वैल्यूज़ को आपको यहाँ पे जहाँ पे जो आपकी रो 0 हुई थी वहाँ पे उसको सब्सटीट्यूट करना है. सो आई विल क्विकली रब दिस and this will become, this is 8 and this is 24, and then proceed making the Routh array. So this will become 8 into 12 minus 24 into 2 divided by 8. Okay, so 8 into 12 minus 24 into 2 divided by 8, it will become equal to 6. Then this will be 8 into 16 minus 12 into minus 2 into 0 divided by 8, so it's going to be 16. Then again you can proceed similarly, 8 into 24 minus 6 into 24 minus 8 into 16 divided by 6, and this is going to be 8 divided by 3, and similarly यहाँ से ये value 16 ही आएगी. Okay, so this is how you can finally form the Routh array. Now again you have to do the same thing, observe how many sign changes are occurring. Okay, if there are no sign changes, that means that there are no poles that are lying on the right hand side. So you can see over here, first row is 1, first column is 1, 2, 2, 8, 6, 8 by 3 and 16. So these are the values that you are getting in the first column of the Routh array. कोई भी वैल्यू पॉजिटिव से नेगेटिव, नेगेटिव से पॉजिटिव ऐसा कहीं नहीं हो रहा है, कोई साइन चेंज नहीं है. Hence we can conclude no sign change, मतलब no poles on the right hand side. कोई पोल्स राइट हैंड साइड में नहीं है. बट एक जो पूरी रो आपकी 0 हुई थी उसका क्या सिग्निफिकेंस है? द सिग्निफिकेंस इज दैट इफ द एंटायर रो हैड बिकम 0, आपको ये देखना है जैसे पूरी रो 0 हुई, उसके ऊपर वाली रो का पावर कितना है? द पावर इज s टू द पावर 4. इसका मतलब ये है कि 4 पोल्स जो हैं, 4 पोल्स, ये poles they were lying symmetrically along the S plane, and as we are sure now that none of the poles they are lying on the right hand side, hence we can say that these 4 poles they are actually lying on the y axis symmetrically. वो जो poles हैं वो आपके y axis में लाए होंगे, that too symmetrically. 2 poles above this x axis, 2 poles below this x axis. That is what it is that is what it is meant when we see that entire row is becoming 0. इसी का मतलब है कि यहाँ पे जो poles हैं वो symmetrically lie कर रहे हैं. अब अगर symmetrically lie कर रहे हैं, then we can also find out कि वो किस frequency से oscillate कर रहे हैं, मतलब frequency of oscillation जो है वो क्या होगा, या s की वैल्यू क्या होगी for those poles, that also we can find out. How? Just look at this equation. You just look at the equation of the auxiliary equation that we had. So the auxiliary equation, I'll write it again. It's 2s to the power 4 plus 12s square plus 16. That is equal to 0. This is the auxiliary equation. Now just find out the roots of this equation. इस equation के roots find out करो एंड वॉट एवर आर द वैल्यू ऑफ एस, एस की जो भी वैल्यूज़ आती हैं वो वैल्यूज़ हैं जिस फ्रीक्वेंसी से आपके जो सिस्टम है जो ऑसिलेट करेगा, दैट विल गिव यू द फ्रीक्वेंसी ऑफ ऑसिलेशन. Okay, because the system is going to be a marginally stable system. So अगर marginally stable system है तो उसमें oscillations होंगे. किस frequency के oscillation होंगे वो हम पता कर सकते हैं if you find out the roots of this equation. So just you can find it out. One of the method I can tell you, like this is fourth power equation. You can write like s to the power 4 है, तो आप ऐसा कर सकते हैं कि लेट एस स्क्वायर इक्वल टू टी, सब्सटीट्यूट समथिंग लाइक दिस, एस स्क्वायर इक्वल टू टी, देन दिस विल बिकम 2t स्क्वायर प्लस 12t प्लस 16 इक्वल टू 0. नाउ यू कैन easily सॉल्व दिस इक्वेशन. ये हो जाएगा आपका t स्क्वायर प्लस 60 प्लस 8 इक्वल टू 0. Okay, and if you find out the roots of it, it will become minus b plus minus under root b square minus 4ac by 2. Okay, solving that you can find out ki this will become minus 6 plus minus under root 36 minus 32 divided by 2. So it's going to be plus minus 2 divided by 2. It will be one of the value, it will become minus 4. Okay, another value will be equal to minus 2. One value will be minus 4, another value will get is minus 2. So actually s square की value है एक बार minus 4, s square की एक बार value है minus 2. So you can say that s value is actually plus minus 2j and s value is plus minus root 2j. So this is the frequencies at which the system is going to oscillate. So you can also find out the frequency of oscillation for if you are having such kind of example with you. Okay, and what does this mean? इसका मतलब S plane में ये कहाँ किस तरीके से हम इसको show कर सकते हैं? It means that sorry, तो poles are lying plus minus 2j and poles are lying plus minus root 2j. Okay, this is how the poles are lying. Now एक और चीज़ बोल सकते हैं, जैसे यहाँ पे for this case, for this example we saw that this system is actually having the poles on the imaginary axis. But अगर यहाँ पे साइन चेंज आ जाता उस केस में हम क्या बोलते? तो सपोज अगर यहाँ पे साइन चेंज आता, सपोजली हमने कुछ और एग्जांपल लिया होता और यहाँ पे दिस वुड हैव बीन सम वैल्यू, यहाँ पे जैसे आपका वैल्यू कुछ a आता एंड दिस सॉरी इसकी वैल्यू सपोज माइनस a आती, ठीक है. तो ऐसी कंडीशन में जहाँ पे पूरा एक रो आपका ज़ीरो हो गया है and you are after solving the auxiliary equation, differentiating, then substituting the coefficients and after solving the complete thing you are getting sign changes. जैसे यहाँ पे आपके दो साइन चेंज आते and the इक्वेशन जो आपका पूरा इक्वेशन ज़ीरो हुआ है उसके ऊपर का जो आपका टर्म आ रहा है दैट्स s to the power 4, ये वाला इक्वेशन है. इस केस में हम क्या बोल सकते हैं कि अगर दो साइन चेंज आ रहे हैं दैट मीन्स टू पोल्स आर लाइंग ऑन दी राइट हैंड साइड, हेंस द अदर टू पोल्स आर लाइंग ऑन दी लेफ्ट हैंड साइड. ठीक, ये सिमेट्रिकली प्लेस्ड होंगे, ये 100% है. सो टू पोल्स आर गोइंग टू लाई ऑन दी राइट हैंड साइड और बिल्कुल उनके सिमेट्रिक में दो पोल आपके लेफ्ट हैंड साइड में होंगे. ठीक, देन you are having four poles actually which are symmetrically placed along the S plane. So if two poles are on the they are belonging to right hand side, other two poles will be actually symmetrically placed along the y axis. That is how the system will look like. Okay, so how many poles you will get over here? 1 2 3 4 5 6, एक्चुअल में क्वेश्चन में पोल्स कितने थे, क्वेश्चन में पोल्स 6 थे, तो इसमें आपका जो सिस्टम है वो इस तरीके से दिखेगा कि 2 poles on right hand side, 2 poles on the left hand side and 2 poles they will be lying along the imaginary axis. The system is definitely unstable. अगर यहाँ पे आपका साइन चेंज आ जाता है तो उस केस में बात कर रहे हैं, उस केस में सिस्टम जो रहेगा वो आपका अनस्टेबल रहेगा. Okay, so many varieties of these questions can be there. If you face any problem, then please do ask me. Thank you for listening to this lecture. Okay.